right, so let's close today's episode. This is what everyone came to see. You either genuinely love podcasts and recognize the unique space I'm filling, since podcast reviews are rare, or you are here for the closing segments because you enjoy thought provoking ideas that challenge your perspective. Either way, if nothing else, let's get into it. There are days when the weight of awareness feels unbearable, when knowing too much, seeing too deeply, becomes a curse rather than a gift. To understand the world beyond its surface, to sense the quiet tragedies woven into ordinary lives, to recognize the suffering that others walk past without a second thought. It is both enlightening and exhausting. I sometimes envy those who live unburdened by reflection, whose thoughts do not stretch beyond the moment, who can witness hardship and reduce it to simple misfortunes rather than an echo of choices, systems, and stories untold. What would it like to be to move through life without the constant undercurrent of understanding, without the relentless pull of contemplation? But wisdom does not grant peace, nor does it guarantee happiness. It only deepens the well from which both sorrow and meanings are drawn. And yet, despite it all, I cannot unknow, cannot unsee. Perhaps the burden is not knowing too much, but in struggling to find where such knowledge belongs in the world that so often turns away. And as I sit here reflecting on Haley Jade's journey, one shaped by her highs and lows of her parents' turbulent past, let's not pretend Eminem and Kim's entire relationship has always been under a microscope and in the spotlight. So, those who are Eminem fans will know. I can't help but think about the weight so many people carry when it comes to love, marriage, and the fear of falling behind. I mean, her parents had it all, right? Fame, success, wealth, and yet none of it was enough to keep their home intact. Now, as Haley starts her own family, I see so many of my own friends in their 30s feeling that same pressure. They build careers, travel, live full lives, but because they haven't settled down, they feel like they are losing some invisible race. I know that feeling well. I was in my 20s when I watched my friends get married and have kids and build their lives that they were supposed to. And boy, was that time different than it is today. I felt that way too. But now, 15 years later, I stand on the other side, divorced, looking back with a different perspective. So before you rush, before you let that pressure dictate your choices, hear me out. Because I've been where you are, and what I've learned might just change the way you see everything. In the end, we are nothing but dust. The only thing that remains is our bloodline. I have walked through the storm, faced the terror, and weathered it all to gain the wisdom I now hold. So, this is my gift to you. Long after I'm gone, my channel and the internet will remain. This is my legacy, a collection of thoughts, insights, and hard earned truths. For those who seek, for those who need something to draw strength from, I hope my words serve as a guide in your darkness. I'm calling this closing segment The One, the weight, and the weight of it all. I know people who feel the weight of time pressing down on them, measuring their lives against invisible milestones. The pressure intensifies with every engagement announcement, every curated post of love and companionship flooding their feeds. Social media distorts love into a competition, one where falling behind feels like failure. But the truth? Most people searching for love haven't found peace within themselves. And without that foundation, love, real love, feels forced, it stumbles, it strains, it becomes an obligation rather than a natural current. Years ago, I emerged from a 5 year relationship, and instead of seeking another, I just vanished. Not just from dating, but literally from everything. Changed my number, moved, cut ties with people who meant the world to me at the time. People actually thought I left the city. In reality, I was right here, just unreachable. One thing about me is if I don't want to be found, you will never find me. But in that isolation, something unexpected happened. I met someone I had overlooked for years, myself. It took me 5 years to find peace, the kind that isn't dressed up in distraction, new cities, or fleeting experiences. I'm talking about real peace. The kind you earn by facing yourself in absolute silence. It's actually the hardest work a person can do. The great poet Rumi once wrote, "If I am not with myself, I become the loneliest one. Who is with me? If I become myself, more lost than I have ever been." That's deep. I'm sure that went over someone's head already. I remember the exact moment peace settled in me. I was actually traveling for work at the time. Uh, I was standing at the edge of Niagara Falls, and it was my first time there. The sun warm on my skin, mist rising like breath from the earth. The roar of water filled the space around me, but inside, I was uh, I was quiet. I closed my eyes, exhaled, and I whispered to myself, "I'm happy alone. I do not need anyone." A week later, I met my ex-wife, and as we all know it, the rest was history. If you are searching for love and coming up empty, my advice is simple: stop looking. Find peace first. Solitude is not loneliness, it's actually a proving ground. Date yourself. Learn who you are when no one is watching. Because love, the kind that lasts, requires internal stability. Without it, marriage and family won't just challenge you, they will unravel you. Or worse, you'll unravel someone else. Love doesn't respond to desperation. It isn't drawn to searching hands. It actually comes when you are steady, when your present isn't seeking but simply is. Your frequency determines what you attract. So, if you are restless, you will find restlessness. If you are whole, love will recognize you. Everyone chases fleeting moments of joy, as if happiness is a final destination, somewhere you arrive and stay. But it never works that way. I mean, if it did, wouldn't we say rest in happiness instead of rest in peace? Think about that for a minute. Peace is what we wish for the dead. Yet so many live their entire lives without it. Some only find it on their deathbeds, while others leave this world with the weight of regret, realizing too late that they spent their entire lives chasing emotions that were never meant to last. Happiness is an experience, not a possession. And yet, people waste their entire days reaching for something that slips through their fingers the moment they grasp it. Maybe the real question isn't how to find happiness, but why we've been conditioned to think it's the goal in the first place. I gave this advice to a friend I've known for 20 years. His parents once pulled me aside, worried he'd never settle down. I told them, "Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it, huh?" Today, he's married, two kids, a house, the whole 9 yards. Another friend followed the same path. He is now engaged, preparing to fly to the Philippines for his wedding. So, this is my offering to you. Learn from my mistake. As you likely already know, I'm recently divorced. Marriage and family are not just commitments, they are acts of devotion. They require selflessness, resilience, and unshakable center. If you are not careful, they will drain your peace. And if you are not intentional, they will consume your love. But if you tend to them wisely, they can be the deepest and rewarding aspect of your life. Before you search for love, find peace. Because love, the real thing, doesn't come from searching, it comes from being ready. Years ago, my best friend taught me something. Over time, I refined it, shaped it into something sharper, something that lingers. Here it is. There are three kinds of people who come walking into your life. So let me give you that framework. The first arrives like a storm. They cut you down, break you apart, and leave you in ruins. When they go, you are left alone in the wreckage, forced to sift through what remains. This is where your self discovery begins. Now, the second comes as a guide. They inspire you, they challenge you, and equip you with the tools you never knew you needed. They shape your path, they quietly slip away and not meant to stay, but leaving behind echoes of their presence. You'll always remember these people. And lastly, the last person who walk into your life will stay a lifetime. Now that you understand these three types of people who walk into your life, I hope you make better decisions in choosing the right partner. Marriage and family life are not just for the weak. Pairing with the wrong person can turn your life into a slow unraveling. Life is shorter than most realize, and longevity in love isn't just about romance. It's about reducing the stress that erodes us from the inside out. So, in closing, we spend our lives searching, chasing love, happiness, meaning. But what if the pursuit itself blinds us to what we truly need? What if happiness was never meant to be the destination, but simply a moment passing through us like the wind? If happiness were the goal, we would say rest in happiness instead of rest in peace. Think about that again. Even in death, peace is the final wish. Yet so many live their entire lives without it, lost in the illusion that happiness is something to capture and keep. We build, we break, we search, we lose. We convince ourselves that love will fill the void, that success will silence the doubt, that time will answer the question. But nothing external ever does, because peace isn't found in the next achievement, the next person, or the next thrill. It's found in stillness, in knowing yourself so deeply that the world no longer shakes you. Before you seek love, seek peace. Because love, real love, recognizes wholeness. It does not come to complete, but come to complement. It does not heal wounds you refuse to confront. It is not a bandage for emptiness. So as you move forward, ask yourself, are you running towards something real, or are you running from yourself? Find peace first. Let everything else find you. And with that, that wraps today's episode. Stay blessed, stay steady, and may you find peace, not just in the end, but in the life you live. Until next time, over and out. Bow.